Cubbuster here. Stone County Sheriff's Office, Stone County, Arkansas. Sheriff Brandon Long. This one's for you. And a warning to you. Um, we are going to have a discussion here. And I am recording this for all my viewers, listeners' pleasure. We're going to show you something here because this is very important. And I'm going to go over here to my email. This is a letter from the Attorney General. Um, Tim Griffin, the Attorney General. And this is dated June 16th, 2026. This come in my email to document. We're going to read this for you. Thank you for contacting the Office of Attorney General regarding an investigation in the Stone County Sheriff's Office and the Arkansas State Police. The authority to conduct criminal investigations and to prosecute criminal charges in any case is restricted to the locally elected county prosecuting attorneys, law enforcement officers who operate independently without any supervision or oversight of the Attorney General. You may wish to report your concerns to the Stone County Prosecutor's Office, which is a guy named Joshua Collins. If you feel that law enforcement officers have not fulfilled their duties, you may wish to file a complaint with the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Please do not hesitate to contact our office if any further assistance needed. Okay, with that said, that's Office of the Attorney General. Tim Griffin. We got a big message for old Mr. Tim Griffin. And we also got a big message for Sarah Sanders. I am going to be live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, on the Unveiling Shadows podcast with Kimberly Mosby, and I'm going to show her even more detail about right before Tyler Robinson is in court on Monday. So if y'all want to join us for that one, you can watch the show on TV yourself on that one. Okay, now back to this. So the Office of the Attorney General wants to say that they're operating independently on their own without any oversight or anything. And that's true. They sure are. We have Stone County Sheriff's Office, Brandon Long, misdemeanor warrant process packet, and forms that we haven't filled out. And these are forms to fill out because of on June 8th, on a half moon, like I've been talking about, we had one male subject come onto our property, trespass, and Officer Semino, Stone County Sheriff's Office, we reported this to him. We had this filmed. Claims we're living in the fallen realm and just all kinds of things. Not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So basically, as Gutbuster naturally does, I go to the Stone County Fort Complex over here. And I speak to two female subjects behind the glass. And I'm talking to them with my 80-so-year-old mom. And we're speaking about the process of filing a protective order or a no contact order, and they want to make excuses and point fingers and send us down to the main courthouse at the court square. We have all this filmed, and we're in the process of talking to them now. They're pointing fingers back at the Stone County Court Complex, saying we have to go back down there. We're getting a runaround. And in the process, we're being perpetually stalked by a Don Smith out here, who is a employee of the Stone County City Water, etc. The thing with this is we're documenting evidence on this channel. So the prosecutor or any sheriff or anybody that we have come in contact with, period, for let's say 2+ years or so of being here, stalked to be murdered, by the way, matched up a murder case already here, and everything lined up with every judge in Melbourne, Arkansas, and in Mountain Home, Arkansas, even, that had their hand in on this, because they don't think that people can figure out what they're doing. So we're still being stalked by one Don Smith, who comes by here racking his pipes, his Jake brake on his truck, specifically to get our attention, and then goes across the street with the guy who's one subject neighbor who's aiding and abetting this whole process. We have one I would call Hispanic male subject, comes up in a blue Ford Expedition with some tan trim along the bottom, tan seats. He proceeds to try to stir me up and get me to try to say things that would be like incriminating, like let's go get him and all this stuff. He seemed like he had a mental problem. He seemed like, or he was medicated, one or the other. Regardless, he don't belong here. You know, Don Smith's across the street over here, sending this guy up here for I don't know how many times. So the ritual process started again that I already documented once. And the first one was Justin Jarvie from Arkansas State Police, unlawful traffic stop, forced compliance, threats from the prosecutor over at Mountain Home by a judge that I clearly say this is under duress. And they put me right in the front into the checkout line for a conviction. Okay, we leave. Second point on that circle that I've showed you on my previous videos would be one Stone County deputy in a little silver Blazer who comes up at the second point on that and pulls up on us. I mean, I'm driving down the road doing normal speed limit, and I'm way far past this guy already. He was sitting on the side waiting for us way down the road. He must have did 60, 70 miles an hour to catch up with me and get up on my ass, and then suddenly hits his brakes and stops, pulls into the side, turns around and leaves, okay? That's number two. Number three is Don Smith and this male subject who identifies himself as James Christopher York, because we're going back to this guy. And this guy's been shot, full of bullet holes. Got a bullet hole in his face and such. He comes over here coercing us, uninvited, to say things to the extent of all these crime things that are going on there, and how two people showed up at the city council meeting here at Mountain View, and now they're no longer with us. And unfortunately, I don't like to speak on this subject. There was a little 4-year-old girl here who was killed. And it does fall kind of in line with a half moon. This was in 2016. And this guy wants to say that the sheriff raped her and killed her. This Brandon Long right here. We're not sure this guy's telling us the truth. We suspect he was lying to us, just to intimidate, harass. This guy's either irreparably damaged by war, or he's an FBI agent who stepped through the wrong door at the wrong time. Regardless, I see why these things are maybe like Tim McVeigh doing Murrah building bombing and all this stuff, and how they were maybe convinced into doing these things, just like Tyler Robinson right here. We're going to show extensively that Trump, Sarah Sanders, Erica Kirk, and all the cast planned, timed by this judge, Tony Graff. That's tomorrow live on Unveiling Shadows podcast. I figured I'd put this out today. Now, with that said, what Tim Griffin is doing is pointing us to the Stone County prosecutor. And the prosecutor and this Don Smith are good buddies. They know each other. Let the phone call go by. And when you have to go ask the prosecutor to prosecute his buddies, he's not going to prosecute his buddies. Okay? When you have to get an 80-year-old lady to file a protective order, which they came up with every excuse not to allow us to do so, or a no contact order, every excuse not to do so already, before we even see Joshua Collins out here, the so-called county attorney, prosecuting attorney, we see this as the same exact thing that the Southern Poverty Law Center got indicted on. Okay, so they're causing the problem, and all they had to do is tell this guy to stop, and they didn't do so, and they keep continuing to this day. And for the purpose of going and asking them, it's like asking the guy who stole your property and broke in your house to come arrest himself and put it all back, you see. It ain't gonna happen. So this is a perpetual, endless loop of pointing fingers, sending you other places, and my time's worth something. And so is my mom's. This is the same grift that the Southern Poverty Law Center was doing, where they were taking donations and giving it back to the same group doing these same types of stalking and terrorist activity to target and discriminate against an individual, specifically Gutbuster. I'm doing this channel for documentation of evidence. And when Tim Griffin is pointing at this prosecutor to judge himself, with a Seminole sheriff's deputy we have filmed reporting this incident, claiming we live in the fallen realm and such. Regardless, this is a perpetual loop to nowhere. Your court system is a fraud run by a group of individuals, grifters, and there is no justice. The two sheriffs are illegit because We can prove that they're running this crew because when we ask if Brad Breeding here has been removed from service after getting fired from the school for doing something strange to some little kid and staging a scene in a time premeditated fashion out in front of our property to come point a gun in my face, he's still employed. So, the only alternative is, and we're going to go film the FBI this time. We're going to see what they have to say. And Alicia Cord needs to retire permanently. She needs to go. And so does Sarah Sanders and all these people perpetuating these crimes on people. So this would be to send you to a prosecutor to determine whether he should prosecute himself or his buddies, because they operate, like I showed you in the letter at front, operate independent of anybody. God, they answer to no one. And to get you in there to waste your time, when all they had to do is tell this guy to stop. That's all they had to do. So we have a suspected serial killer here, and a whole group of them. This did happen in Texas too, same type of thing. And we're here to document this because the Southern Poverty Law Center has already been indicted on this same stuff. So if they're asking us to pay money, spend time in court fees, what have you, already making excuses point me back and forth from the town square court complex to the Stone County court complex, and we go back and forth, it shows there's really no justice at all. I'm doing this the day before I go on Unveiling Shadows because I want to take this governor down. And she deserves it. This is a planned time scheme. Wish I'd keep my cigarette lit. And for me to have a channel up on YouTube for this long, reporting serious murder crimes, and nobody does nothing about it, tells you who your representatives are. When I comment on certain channels, because YouTube has a lot to do with this too, when I comment on YouTube on a channel, any channel, and I go off of that channel, and then I come back onto that channel, my comment disappears. When I try to comment on Fox News or CNN sponsored YouTube channels, it won't allow me to comment. So they're doing a very serious crime here. We figured we would document that, show that I have the paperwork, show that we're going to go take Tim Griffin's advice, and we're going to go see him, and I am going to film it and put it on. I got a whole bunch of film to put on. And we're going to see how his office responds when they point us back to Stone County in the perpetual endless loop circle of injustice. Okay? While there are people out here stalking, terrorizing my 80-year-old mom. And in the process, I want to get this straight because some people commented that sorry for my loss and everything because I guess I misspoke on a video, or they misunderstood me. One, that my mom was gone, but she's not. The same people, the state trooper Justin Jarvie, who had to have some contact with either the secretary or this Dr. Pruitt over here at Baxter Medical Care in Stone County, Arkansas, delayed. My mom was very clear when she went in there that she needed a medication adjustment and things, and came from a place where old people were laying out on the front sidewalk every time I pulled up in Batesville over here at another place. But it did delay her care, and it did put her in an ER Um, I didn't think she was going to make it on that one. So they're here to terrorize, stalk, kill, steal, and Justin Jarvie and Miss Jody Carney, the judge over here, she seemed to got it pointed to a prestigious position through Sarah Sanders or sit on some council or something. I see that as a curse. Because as soon as we put this video out, um, and I hope everybody watches it, and we're doing it right before Tyler Robinson. So when you have 1.5 years exactly to the day that this guy is in court on his death row sentence or whatever, from the point that Trump started America Fest on 12/22 of 24. And I got all the points in between with Erica Kirk and the governor and all of it. Mathematically correct. We're going to do as long a show as I can to get y'all some of the a lot of the evidence. So while you're watching Fox News, you can see that you're not watching Fox News. um, and I'll show that they fall right in line with this ritual that they did. So Trump's doing human sacrifice rituals along with Sarah Sanders, the governor, and they're not running the country. They're not fixing election fraud in California or doing anything else. They're basically blaming and stealing from other countries to keep this thing afloat. This would be the mother of all harlots, okay, that could not answer for or atone for her sin because your national debt is probably fake ploy to justify leaving you on the hook for the bill, to justify stealing or taking your properties. Let's see, sins, murder, attempted murder on us, plagues, your COVID, your Lone Star tick, your rat hantavirus, these things, your adulteries, which I documented that this ritual they did was spiritual adultery. So I'm showing you that this is the mother of all harlots, okay, and the father of all lies. Go bust her out.